The MMIP crisis, it stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. This is just one of many databases showing you the faces of this crisis. It's from the Bureau of Indian Affairs website. Missing men and women in different places like Iowa, even Arizona, some in Minnesota as well. But you probably haven't heard about it here in the metro.
We feel with missing Indigenous women that we are being failed here.
I-Team reporter Sarah Plake learned this crisis is unfolding right here in our community right now. Through her reporting, she listened to a perspective you might not have heard before. A Metro family whose Native American teenage daughter has gone missing not once, but twice. At such a young age, that teen has experienced the violence and exploitation associated with MMIP cases. We do want to warn you, some of the story's details are disturbing. Here's Sarah.
This is the first in a series of stories the I-Team is doing about the MMIP crisis and what it looks like in our area. Native women and their children experience higher rates of poverty, substance abuse disorders, trafficking, and violence. These disparities are tied to historical cultural loss and trauma, which has cycled itself from generation to generation. So while Native people make up just 0.6% of the Missouri population, they're still at higher risk for these outcomes. These aren't just cold statistics for one local teen and her family. They're the reality they live in. And normally, we don't identify minors who have been victims of violence, but in this case, she and her family agreed to share their experience to raise awareness about this crisis and how it manifests in Native families all over the U.S. This is Quana's story.
I have the cutest little film of Quana when she was little, in her regalia from the back of her, starting to bounce for one of our veterans dances. That we have veterans, they're called gore dances.
Quana Big Spring was raised to respect her Native roots.
She holds a tribal card with Cherokee Nation. My tribal card is with Blackfeet Nation.
Her mom, Colette, adopted Quana when she was a toddler. Although they have different tribal backgrounds, they've always shared a connection and reverence for their heritage.
This stuff is just known to be normal.
Colette raising her kids to know and love their heritage also comes with a nagging fear. It's the painful knowledge of the risks she and Quana statistically face as Native women. We visited with Colette and her husband Dallas when Quana was missing to talk about this issue.
Missing and murdered Indigenous women has been an epidemic throughout what we call Turtle Island is the United States. This has been going on for years and years.
Her fears have become reality twice now with Quana disappearing. The MMIP crisis, missing and murdered Indigenous people, is playing out right here in the Kansas City metro, where the public typically might not think about it.
We don't have Indian land in Missouri, but there's Indian issues all over where we're not recognized.
Quana is a shy but perceptive 17-year-old who loves animals, poetry, basketball, and going for walks.
She's a little tomboy and a half, but I think she's one of those girls that doesn't realize how pretty she is.
But she's also a victim of exploitation and trafficking. The trauma has left her with wounds that'll take years to heal, but also a longing to return to the innocence of her youth, this little girl you see in the picture.
She would tell me often the last year, I guess I am kind of pretty. I said, Quana, you're beautiful.
Throughout her life, Quana has struggled with mental health issues, which made her vulnerable to the cruel underworld of the Kansas City streets. When she was 16 in 2022, Quana disappeared from home. Colette and her stepfather say a man started talking to Quana online and lured her to northeast Kansas City, Missouri, where he physically and sexually assaulted her. According to the police report the I-Team obtained, that 20-year-old man held Quana against her will for a month. When she finally got enough courage to call 911, the report says the man took her phone and smashed it. Kansas City prosecutors issued 2 summonses to the man, one for domestic violence assault and one for property damage. We're not naming him because the city prosecutor's office dropped those charges earlier this year. Quana didn't have the strength to testify.
This is just not your average case of a teenage runaway.
When Quana was 13, Colette made the difficult decision to ask the state for help.
I turned to the system to help with a child that needed so much more help than I could give her in an average home.
The state placed Quana in a youth group home, but she saw her family every weekend.
I picked her up every Saturday if I worked or not, late, early. And so she has always had unsupervised visits with us.
It was during one of those visits on May 20th that Quana went missing again, exploited again by an older man who preyed on her vulnerabilities.
She left because she was afraid. And I think many of us would have left under her position and ran.
Was she afraid that she was going to get sent away to
Yes.
a place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Days before Quana left home, she learned that the state wanted to move her to a facility in Texas for medical care.
And Quana calls me, upset, Mom, Mom, Mom.
Colette was furious, telling Quana's caseworker in this text that Quana will not be moved to Texas. The caseworker responded saying they had no other option. Colette urged them to find one. It's not just the 600+ miles between Missouri and Texas. Colette says it goes against a federal law that says Native kids in foster care need to be placed in the least restrictive setting, closest to the family and their home.
Making sure she's close to you, she stays close
Yes.
to the family.
Yes. That's one huge issue with this case.
The Department of Social Services declined to talk to us, saying Quana is a minor.
When Quana went missing in 2022, she was found around here, Independence Avenue in Hardesty. And this time around, Colette feared that her daughter would be right back here in this area in Kansas City known for drugs, trafficking, and violence, the last place any mother would want their child.
I don't know if she's dead or alive. If I just heard her voice.
Colette wouldn't hear her daughter's voice for another 8 weeks. In mid-July, 2 months after she went missing, Quana escaped from a man she said also held her against her will.
Quana was found here at Independence Avenue in Hardesty, the very place her mother feared she would be. Quana was finally able to call her parents, and so they raced here to this parking lot to come pick her up.
Quana is home now, starting on a long road of healing and recovery. She isn't ready to talk on camera, but told us the man who held her is old enough to be her dad. She also said he physically and sexually abused her and controlled everything she did, including when she could brush her hair. Shortly after she escaped, Quana and her parents said she met with an FBI forensic interviewer for several hours. The FBI declined to talk to us about the case, but said they often assist local police departments. Because Quana was found in Kansas City, we wondered if her case now falls in KCPD's jurisdiction. But a spokesperson said they're not investigating anything in relation to her case right now. Belton police said they aren't either. Prosecutors haven't filed any charges. Disappointing news, again, to Quana and her family, who says the justice system constantly fails their daughter.
I do expect, we'll say this, all the grown-ups, professionals to do their job, to protect my daughter.
And serve as a reminder that all Native women deserve protection.
Even though it's really hard for me to emotionally talk about Quana to the public because I'm so much of a private person, I think educating people on the missing, murdered Indigenous women is extremely important.
Quana's story is not over. She has a long road of healing emotionally and physically, and several legal battles ahead. As our investigation continues, we'll expose the confusion on the state and federal levels about which laws apply in cases like Quana's and who even knows about them. For the I-Team, I'm Sarah Plake.